Yo, what's going on, world? This is your boy Najee from rapradar.com, and we're here for another episode of Cigar Talk. Now, today, I got a very special guest. Now, it's always cool when I got the artists and shit, but behind every artist, there's always people that's making things work and making it go, that pushing this culture forward. And today, I got one of these influences, one of these cultural mixes up in here.
Thank you, bro.
I got my man Wayno. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Man, everything is good. Long time. We finally got to get to
We've
it.
been trying to do this for a minute.
Absolutely, yo. But the timing is perfect. Like, you've been doing so much lately, bro. Like, killing this shit.
Dog, I'm just trying to. I'm really in a place where this is everything I wanted in life. I mean, this is everything I wanted in life, and I've been blessed to be able to be at certain tables and have those type of conversations based on the work I've been doing since I was 18 years old. So it's like it's kind of surreal for me.
Yeah.
But it's happening exactly how it's supposed to.
Absolutely. Like, well, as you say it, as it's supposed to. You were on this everyday struggle, man. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, like, so what they would be able to kind of like build just with the show, like it was like a cultural impact, right? Like an impactful thing. How do you feel just your experience on the show? Like,
Yo, what's crazy about the show is like I mean, I never really intended to be like on the show as many times as I was. I basically I just randomly hit Nadeska up. Like me and Nadeska had worked before or something, and like she's a homie. Like that's one of my peoples. Like I consider her a friend. So I just basically reached out to her, to tell her to keep going and everything. She's like, yo, you should stop by. And I stopped by. I took it as an opportunity to promote, my company, Kanye Offense, and from there, I left and they was like, yo, that was like the most fun we had in a long time.
So it's supposed to be a one-off originally? Like just a one-off?
I just was going to do an interview. You know what I mean? And just talk with them. And they asked me to come back. And then, we caught a little vibe with each other. And it was like, yo, let's keep rocking out. Let's have fun, And it was new for me because I had never been from behind the camera.
Right.
I've never really been at the forefront. I've always put, my artists before me, and I still do. But it was kind of different for me. I never really spoke on camera. Even when I was a kid, when I was in plays as a kid, I was the one that was in the back holding something.
Right, okay, right. You want to jump in the front?
Yeah, I never wanted to be that kid that had all the lines and that type of responsibility. So I'm still kind of the same. I have a lot of the things that made me who I am from my childhood.
Yeah. So what was it like kind of just, like you said, this is your first time kind of being in front of the camera and speaking on all type of different shit, right? Everyone's paying attention to this, right? So it's you don't want to offend your political connects. What is that like? Like when you...
Somewhat, but at the same time, it's like, on contrary to popular belief, everybody in the industry talks about everything.
Facts.
And the fact of the matter is I mean, I don't have, I'm not going to say something crazy because it's like, all right, Joel's situation happened, and a couple people had jokes. I don't have jokes. Me and Joel's went to junior high school together. You know what I mean? I was around Joel's when I was at Rocafella, and he became a father.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine, so it's like I don't see anything funny in this situation.
Absolutely.
So it's like people might joke, but I'm not. But it's other things that I am going to joke about. Right. I won't sit here and act like I don't have friends in this game. I do have a lot of friends, and I do have a lot of relationships. And I even say things that ruffle a lot of my friends' feathers from time to time.
Like, what was something that you said that kind of you got the call, like, yo, Wayno, what the fuck?
Well, not nothing I did on Everyday Struggle, but, I had said the shit on Joe's Pull-Up.
Yeah.
About, New York artists not really having content and talking about, things more than their neighborhood.
Right.
And a lot of people, even in Harlem, a lot of people took offense to that. But what they didn't realize is that now everybody... Now that they putting out videos and all that, they keep atting me in it.
So they're trying to.
So it's like it's kind of shedding the light that make guys open up and say, yeah, we do talk about shit. And I didn't say nobody couldn't rap. Yeah. All I said is that the content is very limited to one or two subjects, and that's a fact. And I feel like in order for us to move forward, we got to have them type of conversations.
Okay. All right. So now, when you, like you said, you jumped on Everyday Struggle, and obviously Joe was there, right? Joe and Ak and Nadeska kind of created this whole thing. And then you were the balance between, you kind of came in after that. Like, when that was happening, were you conscious of just trying to fill Joe's lane? Because, it's kind of like lane, like he's...
Nah, you know why? Because it's like, this is just honestly, this is the same type of conversations I have with my homies on the phone when we're talking. Like, we be on Instagram, yo, you seen this? You seen that? Or in the barbershop, these are the same conversations we have. So I didn't really, what people fail to realize is that I've known Joe since 2004. You know what I mean? I've known Joe for a long time, and like in more recent years we got cooler.
Yeah.
So I didn't really look at it like I'm not trying to take nobody's spot. This is not a dream of mine, not to downplay the opportunity.
Right.
But this is not something I really set out for. So it's just me coming on an everyday basis, just talking and being myself.
Right.
That's what it was for the most part.
All right. So what about you? Because like, you know, Ak is always catching a lot of flack online. Like, you know, just him being that guy, having this type of presence and this, like, you know, social presence. What was it like for you, just kind of that, trying to get the dynamics right with everybody?
You know what's crazy is like a lot of people is very critical of Ak, but like I feel like Ak is very needed. You know what I mean? I feel like the type of content he produces, and I don't agree with everything he says, and he doesn't agree with everything that I say. But the fact of the matter was, like, I was just getting to know him as a man. Like, I can't work with somebody unless we get to know each other. And like, he's really not that bad of a guy.
Yeah.
He's just like, I would say he's a bit, I wouldn't even say he's uninformed. It's just certain experiences that we have in hip hop coming from the street that he doesn't have because he doesn't come from the same place as a lot of the people that he's covering.
That's a fact.
So when he gives his opinion, a lot of people may deem it a certain way, but, you know, give him a slight benefit of the doubt to understand that he just might not know.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't been outside, I feel like, so he's...
Yeah, I mean, but I could tell you that. I could say, yo, I'm not a street dude at all. Like, he'll tell you that straight up and down, and that's what I really respect about him, because he's not trying to be somebody he's not.
Right.
He is being himself. He created a lane for himself, and he learned how to master it, and that's his craft. You know, that's what pays his bills. But, you know, with me and Ak, I just was like, let's just have conversation. I can have a conversation with anybody on this planet. My mom taught me how to speak since I was a child. You know what I mean? It taught me how to have manners and how to speak in any type of situation. So I was kind of comfortable with it for the most part.
All right. So now, like, kind of moving forward, it's been like, you know, off air for about a month or so. The people kind of clamoring, want to know what's going on. Is it like some updates? Y'all working on some new shit, or like what's it looking like?
Basically, you know, they told me that they was, stopping to reconfigure everything out. Hopefully I'm in their plans. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully I'm in their plans, but like whether I am or I'm not, I really enjoy like being a part of that, because it's a part of the culture. It's like me, I grew up watching Joe Claire do interviews on Rap City, Big Les, Yo on TV Raps. I mean, to even Sway and Heather B, and I told Heather B, like, I have a career because I watched you as a kid, from the music to, you know, you becoming a personality and interviewing people and all of that. I mean, I've never interviewed a person in my life, but like without these people, I wouldn't be me. So it's like, whether I get an opportunity to be there or not, I'm super appreciative of Complex. I'm super appreciative of Nadeska Akademiks, you know, Star. I'm also appreciative of Joe, because, you know, when I did the pull up, we had a lot of conversation about, you know, me being on there. And he just was like, yo, I thought you was really dope for it. You know what I mean? And that means a lot coming from him. Because everything folded. But, you know, like I said, Joe is my man, and he always wants to see me do good. So, yeah.
Okay, I feel like. So now kind of, it's just interesting, like, you know, I feel like Everyday Struggle's kind of been a springboard for you, that like you've been able to like get in this digital space and kind of create this buzz and like take it to the next level, right? How do you think that, I guess, you're able to kind of connect with the audience like that, like in just the digital world?
Because you know what it is? I mean, I remember at one point in time where, like, if you just knew how to make a MySpace page, people thought, like, street dudes thought that you was like a computer genius. And
right. That was like coding and shit back there, right?
Like copying the HTML.
That's like putting them in,
paste them, and it was really simple. But now, I mean, everybody has a computer or some sort of device, an iPad, you know, to engage in the content. So for me, it's like, I'm 35 years old, but I don't forget what it's like to be 17. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I don't forget what it's like to be misunderstood. I think the biggest connect that I have with the younger generation is that I understand where they're coming from the music to the fashion to what it is, and I might not agree with it, but I'm gonna give them my perspective, and I'm gonna listen to their perspective. So a lot of like the younger guys, like, they wanna know, like, they like, yo, you know, you're an OG. Like, it's crazy.
Young OG though. OG. You feel that? Like, damn, like.
Somewhat. I mean, I came in the game at 18 years old, so it's like I still have like that fire I had when I was 18. So it's like I'm like, when somebody calls me OG, I'm like, damn, like, am I? Like, but people, even Lenny S said that to me one time. He's like, yo, you are, like, you was groomed by us, you know what I mean? You came up under us, and now, like, you've done things, and you've been in the game. I've been in this, for a long time.
Minute. All right, so we gonna get into the history. Yeah, we got to go back a little bit so we can like understand where all of this is coming from, right?
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, first let's get into the You was born in the Bronx and moved to Harlem.
I was born in the Bronx. I grew up on 228th Street.
Okay.
Carpenter and Larry, the 2-line.
Yeah.
Right next to where Skate Key was at.
Facts. You was up in there back in the day, Skate Key?
Yeah, I was a little kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I did.
That era was just fucking.
No, it was crazy. I mean, I remember Naughty by Nature's Hey Ho coming out and being a little kid skating and saying, hey.
Oh, right.
As like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And what really made me want to get into music was, I mean, first and foremost, my introduction to hip hop was Run DMC Walk This Way with Aerosmith. That's the first thing I ever
Where'd you hear that? Like, where was you at?
Music Box. You know what I mean? Ralph McDaniels.
The box, yeah.
Music Box. My mom used to, my mom wasn't, I wouldn't say she wasn't into hip hop, but she like would put things on. At that time, Kiss FM
was the hip hop. So
it was Kiss FM and Hot 97. It was on the come up, but Kiss FM was more like when Wendy Williams was on there.
Right.
You know what I mean, this was showing my age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
But at this time, what really made me want to get into hip hop was when I seen Juice. And I seen Q being
DJing,
but also Juice was like a horror movie for me. Like it was terrifying.
Right.
Like I ain't
just
gonna
being
lie.
over in Harlem and all that. Like
no, I wasn't in Harlem at the time. I was still in the Bronx. So I grew up in the Bronx. I moved. We moved from one place in the Bronx to another place, and then we moved. My mom got pregnant with my little sister, and we moved to Maryland. So I graduated from 5th grade to 6th grade.
Yeah.
Moved to Maryland for 7th grade. Then my mom and my little sister Pops broke up. We moved from Maryland back to the Bronx.
Okay.
And at that time when we moved back to the Bronx, we was going through the shelter system. And then we got out of that, and the first opportunity we had, my mom, like the first apartment we looked at was in Harlem. My mom was like, yo, we taking the first thing out of there. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing for me. My whole 8th grade year, I didn't want to get joked on, so I never let nobody know I lived in the shelter.
Right.
We had jokes all day.
You know what it was, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We had jokes all day, so what ended up happening was we moved to Harlem, and that was in 96. But I used to go to Harlem because my grandfather lived in Harlem. So I used to go spend like 2 weeks out the summer with my grandfather on 142nd and Edgecombe. And like I remember going to 125th Street Mart, the mixtape vendors.
Hell yeah, crazy.
I was the first tapes I bought was I remember buying Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Classic.
Back the Fuck Up by Onyx.
Yeah.
And Lords in the Underground. $10 I bought 3 bootlegs.
Right.
You know what I mean, and that's when I started listening to music more, getting serious about it. I remember seeing like the first time I seen damn man, it ain't hard to tell by Nas. I was in 6th grade, and I just was like, yo,
did you got it? Like it,
I just like to hear words, you know what I mean? And my cousin, it's so crazy because I had this conversation with Nas one time. My cousin, he passed away last year, and he made me listen to Illmatic. Like he was playing ball and he was like, yo, hold my Walkman. He's like, yo, listen to this tape though. He rewinded all the way to the beginning and I listened to it like
straight through.
Straight through and flip the tape. Like it's so much things that we don't have to do now that we had to do back then. But being in Harlem and like at this time you could just run in the Mace. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little kid. I'm 14
Your mama's
years old.
fried walking around.
I seen Mace. Like I would see Mace. I would see the Locks when I was a kid. I would see Diddy. I would see all these different people, and I just was like really attracted to the success that these guys was having, and it made me say, "Yo, I got to figure out my way into this." And I seen the movie Backstage. That's what made
changed your whole life. That changed my whole perspective too. Seeing that.
Me and all my friends, we had we just decided like Backstage was coming out.
Yeah.
And this is like when Magic Johnson Theater had kind of first opened. And we all went to go see it at once. And I was just mesmerized. And one of the reasons why was because I didn't even know one of my cousins, my older cousin, he was Jay-Z's bodyguard on the Hard Knock Life tour.
Oh shit.
And I seen him, I was like, oh shit, that's my cousin. Like,
right.
So he used to be a detective. So it was like kind of bugged out. I'm like, that's my cousin. Like, so I seen a person I knew around them. That made me say, oh, I could do it.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, I had dropped out of high school. I started doing all types of bullshit.
What type of time was you going in high school? Like, cause like this is Harlem in the 90s. Like, shit kind of rough back then. You know what I mean?
Honestly, when I moved when I moved to Harlem, I didn't really go outside a lot. Like I really stayed to myself because I only had one sibling. You know what I mean? I was 10 years older than my little sister, so I didn't really have like I wasn't a kid that hung outside a lot. Like I was in the video games. I used to draw, so I never really hung outside. And then at this time, I mean, junior high school, I had to travel from the Bronx all the way. I went to Joan of Arc, so I used to have to take the 2 train from 174th all the way to 96 by myself. So that kind of gave me the leeway to kind of move around. And then moving to Harlem, it was crazy because like the gang shit.
Yeah, it was crazy in the 90s. Yeah,
it was crazy, and then like I had to start coming outside, so I had to start making a lot of decisions. So when I started getting to high school, I kind of lost my grandfather had passed like maybe 2 years ago, and I had like 2 years prior to me going to high school, and I kind of like lost my love for like just learning academics and being a student. So I started hanging with people in the street. I started joining gangs and shit, and getting in trouble, not listening, thinking I know everything because, you know, at 14 you start getting hard. You start getting
flexing. Everybody in the hood doing.
You can like yell at your mom.
right. Beatings don't hurt no more.
You know what's so crazy? Beatings only hurt because it's really your mother. Like,
right.
Hitting you that hard,
but you
like,
just
your
it's
heart
my mom. Like
the first woman you love.
That's a fact.
Your ass.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, man. I was dabbling in things, and then I just seen a lot of like. I moved to the east side of Harlem, and I just started seeing a lot of negativity. This is the first time I'm seeing people selling drugs on a daily basis, and it's like, you know, Jordan lines that kids camp out for. I'm seeing people like that for crack. And it's very unsettling, but I'm trying to figure out who I am as a person at this time, and I didn't really want to be in the street, so I started gravitating to the music a bit more. I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. And my mom just told me, she said, yo, listen, I understand you can't do school, but you got to do something. I'm not going to be getting up every day. Let me light my cigarette.
Light up. Let's get right. You know what I mean?
You know, I seen a movie backstage. I tried to figure out how I'm going to get in the game. And my mom told me, you know, she was telling me, like, yo, I'm not going to be going to work every day. You're just going to be sitting in this house.
Right.
And at that time, I had dibble and dabble. Like, I had a lot of friends that, like, my friends was 12 years old selling drugs. And, you know, 13 years old. And they making a lot of money selling drugs. And I tried to do certain things, but I was like, I really didn't want to go to jail.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because I was hearing those stories about Spotfoot and, you know, and Rikers. And I was just like, I don't want to end up there. And, you know, my mom had ended up getting me, she was a job developer. You know what I mean? My mom was a job developer. So she ended up getting me, an interview with Pitney Bowes, a mailroom, and I ended up getting the job, and where they placed me at was 825 8th Avenue. Okay. A lot of people don't know that's where Def Jam and Rocafella, Murder Inc.
Now, did your mom like consciously
she had no
throw
idea.
The word that like, yo, I want him to come over here, or was just like it just happened like that?
The two, it was like 3 options. It was 825 8th Avenue, World Trade Center. And one other place, and this is the year 2000. So,
God, that's crazy.
This is the year 2000, like late 2000, early 2001. And this before Jay-Z dropped Blueprint.
Yeah, that was 01. That was 9/11. That was 9/11.
I mean, I was in 825 8th Avenue. So, well, I skipped over a lot of shit, but they ended up putting me at Pitney Bowes. Fortunately, you know, I ended up there and not World Trade Center. You know what I mean? Because we see how that story unfolded. But my first day being there, you know, they teaching me the job, got me walking around. Right. And
you walking around now? You at Def Jam at Def Jam?
Well, I wasn't working on the Def Jam floor. I was on the 20th floor and the 23rd floor. And the 20th floor was the royalty department. Okay. But I didn't know what royalty.
So at this time,
Universal Music.
How old were you at this point?
17.
17.
I was 17. Yeah, this is like maybe November of 2000. So I'm 17 going on 18. My birthday's in December. And I turn this corner and I see like all this red, and I see like offices that say Irv Gotti and Chris Gotti and BJ and all this. I'm like, mind you, nobody told me what this was. And I'm like, yo, what is this? And they like, you don't know this is where all the record labels at. I was like, this is Murder Inc. Like,
right,
18-year-old kid. It's like a kid walking into OVO offices or walking into
TDE or some shit.
So I'm like, yo, I get back downstairs and all these dudes, like everybody I work with, I was the youngest guy there. Right. So everybody was like 24, 25. It was guys in there was like 40, 35. And I'm just this hype kid. And I'm like, yo, you know that, like Def Jam's upstairs? And they like, yeah, we work here. So I looked at that as my opportunity. Right. So I would do shit like, I would act, because I was the youngest guy, everybody wanted to be in the music industry, but because I was 18, more people in the offices was more receptive to me because I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like I would ask, at this time there's no email. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like mail is the real shit.
Like, real
magazines is right.
This is when the source of reading system.
That's immense. That's a 5 mics was important.
Dudes is really like dudes that worked in the mailroom was like taking extra magazines and sending them to their homies that's locked up.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
dudes was taking CDs, selling them every time.
Right. Yeah.
So there was this lady by the name of Omieli McIntosh, her and Chaka Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I think Chaka was working at Rocafella, but Omi was running Fan, which is Jay-Z's fan club.
Okay.
So they would send out a lot of T-shirts. People would win contests for CDs, etc. Excuse me. And I asked, can I help after work? And I was like, I'll do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm my introduction to Jay-Z was Reasonable Doubt 4 years earlier. All these albums I dropped, so I'm like, I gotta find my way in. Yeah. So I'm asking, can I help? And then I'm helping out and doing.
Are they showing you love at this point? Because you know how it go. Like when you in the mailroom, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to kind of get people's attention and do.
Remember, I'm a 18-year-old kid.
Oh, so they like kind of under the wing type shit.
Cool like at this time, like I got all these. I had a lot of these tattoos.
When you was already young,
when I was young, I started getting tattooed when I was 14.
Yeah.
So I got tattoos. I got braids.
Everybody had braids. Everybody had braids back there. That's a fact. Shout out to AI.
Right. Yeah, I was getting all the AI.
Hell yeah, everybody. That's a fact.
He was a big influence on my life. Oh man, every game I'd be like, yo, ma, do my hair like
gotta get the braids. Right. Yeah, that's a fact.
So they was just really receptive to me, and they were like, I was a young kid, so they would tell me like, yo, Jay's having a concert, you want to come to it?
Yeah.
They would give me tickets and stuff, and then I ended up getting fired from the Mirror.
How did you got fired on your day off, Craig? Like how you got fired, man?
I'm gonna tell you I got fired. It was this Guyanese woman by the name of Grace. She was my boss, and I used to always tell her that one day I was gonna work upstairs, and she used to be like, "You'll never work up there. Nobody's ever gonna give you that job."
Damn.
But the best thing, I'm a high school dropout.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing the introduction of my dream happening in here. Like I got foresight. I can see the end result.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Right.
Like I was told.
So that motivated you,
basically. I was told I wasn't gonna be shit when I was in middle school. So I'm all about defying odds.
Right.
So the reason why I got fired was because people aren't communicating by email; they're communicating by inter-office mail. Yeah. So they're sending shit.
You got the little unravel the shit up. Yeah.
So it was a box that like we used to have a little system. We had walkie-talkie. So it was a guy. He was working the Def Jam floor, and I had to bring something from the Def Jam floor to the royalty department. It was a box like full of contracts, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna leave it in the freight area for you, so you can pick it up and bring it to the royalty department."
Right.
I forgot, and anything that's left in the freight overnight, they throw out.
Oh, so they threw out all the contracts.
Damn. Like, you know what I mean? So
right.
They let me and him go,
yeah.
But at this time, like I'm already building. Like Sherry Bryant.
I don't know it personally, but I know the name.
Sherry
yeah.
is Carlene Balin,
I gotta buy 2 tickets. Yeah.
She's Carlene's assistant.
Okay.
And I got a little relationship with her. I got a relationship with Omi.
And that is that just the relationship is just kind of from you delivering mail, fucking with people, like just kind of
me delivering mail and like me. Anytime they like, yo, we need in the office envelopes. Could you get us some? And I would steal them shits and be like, yo,
yeah,
extras. Like I would do everything extra for the people that I wanted to work with.
Right.
Anything. So I get fired and then I'm trying to figure out some shit. I start working for a sneaker store in my neighborhood. Yeah. I'm getting unemployment, you know what I mean? Sneaker stores off the books.
Yeah, unemployment's a little late. We was late off unemployment back in the day if you had that shit.
Listen, thank you to the government for unemployment.
That's a fact.
So I just asked, I was like, yo, could I come up to Rocafella and help out from time to time? And they're like, yeah, because like I was always helping them out. Yeah. So my first things I was doing was like working with Shari. You know what I mean? Like just running to get artist food. Yeah. This time Kanye, he not even.
Is he around this? Like
he's around.
Do you see him? Like you see Ye around it?
First time I met Kanye West, I'm interning at Rocafella and he's just walking through the office. Yeah. And he had this whole spread in the Source magazine where he had like this thing with like all the beats he produced tattooed
on his arm. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, you Kanye West, right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, yo, I rap too. I was like, for real?
Wait, he told you he rap?
He told me he rap. He like, yo, I rap too. I was like, for real? I was like, you really rap? He like, yeah. He rapped for me for like 8 minutes.
What?
And he's rapping all falls down. Jesus, like he's rapping all because
who he thought you was at the time, like you was.
He rapped for me for 8 minutes, and I was like, I don't know if that's like, I don't know who he thinks I am. Thanks, like, you know what I mean? But what was dope was, as I kind of rose in the ranks, in like 4 to 6 months, I ended up getting the A&R, assistant A&R position, working under Big Face Gary. Like Gary, I gotta give him, hats off to him because he really took a chance with me. Yeah. Before, like, I got cool with NES and G Robeson or hip hop or any.
Did you meet Gary through Cam, or was it because I know that's Cam man's, right?
No, that's
Big Face Gary.
Man.
Oh, Dame's man. Okay.
Like Dame and Gary and Biggs, they all childhood friends.
Yeah.
So Gary was like, he was around them like very, very early on before it was Rocafella. Yeah. And then he had caught a charge. He was locked up for a bit, and when he came home, they gave him a job at Rocafella being an A&R. And he did the same thing that older dudes do today. He went and got a young dude, who was me. And like I was able to tell him like the post of what was going on in the streets because I was outside every day. Yeah. Like, I still had a lot of ties from the street shit I was dealing with as far as music. And he gave me the position. So he gave me the position, and of course I was doing a lot of work that I wasn't getting no credit for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right. That's how it goes.
But I learned a lot of stuff, man. I worked with the young guns. They put me with the young guns because we was all the same age. Like I was 18. I was at this time. Now I'm 19. Yeah. And like the Young Guns State Property 1 first comes out, and the Young Guns are like.
So they low priority at this point, right? Because this is like Beans is smoking at this point. Freeway
is the hottest thing.
Okay, this is Freeway. Okay.
Is the hottest thing out. Oskino and Sparks was supposed to come out first, but Oskino caught a murder charge.
Oskino always catches some shit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then the Young Guns, like, they was trying to figure it out, and like I was just sitting with them, and I was the one telling them like, yo, we gotta start doing mixtapes because I'm going to see my man Ali at Schemes on 125th. Yeah. And now I'm seeing G-Unit do mixtapes. Right. And they flipping people's beats. And I'm like, yo, we gotta do this same format because
that's a fact. That's the wave right now, yeah.
And at first they like, nobody's listening to me. Like they like what whatever, yeah. Because all I'm doing is running to get people's food. Right. But the more time I had to sit around Young Chris and Neef, they like, all right, let's listen.
Now is this all like at baseline? Like when y'all are kind of
we had baseline. Well, this is around like Jay's recording Blueprint 2. Jay's recording Blueprint 2, so like baseline only had 2 rooms, so it's kind of becoming off limits sometimes because they could use baseline at when Jay wasn't using it, or right. Because the Diplomats was on fire when they wasn't using it, so they had another studio set up in Quad. Okay, so they had studio time set up in Quad where they would just go in and make records. And the Youngest in Charge mixtape, which got the Young Guns, like that was their claim. We did that shit in one weekend. I just went in.
Are you like A&R in this?
Yeah, I'm A&R in it. So what I did was they needed the beats. So what I went to Ali from Schemes. I bought like Sycamore, like a few Sycamore CDs. Bought like DJ Boom. I think it was DJ Boom. Was he working with Sycamore? I bought a bunch of like.
Shout out to Sycamore, yeah.
And I just brought them to the joint, and I'm like, yo, do this, and they like, all right, and then they picking shit like doing that, and then I'm like, okay. Then we start sequencing it, and then Dame comes to the studio one day, and we like, yo, let's play the tape, and we play him the tape, and Can't Stop. We at that time we had did Can't Stop Won't Stop. They did it just playing around. Yeah. And we played him the tape. We sequenced it and everything, just me, Chris, and Neef. Yeah. And he's like, yo, this shit is really good. Yeah. Yo, fuck that. He's like, yo, I'm gonna call DJ Enough. We gonna put this shit out like next week.
What, Can't Stop Won't Stop?
The tape.
The tape. All right.
And at this time, like, it's different because now it's digital and all that, but it's like they white labeling things. White labeling is like, spending money to get it out to the DJs. Yeah. And, Can't Stop Won't Stop is the thing that we're planning on, but we got a whole 17 tracks.
Did you know that? Like, cause that's one of the biggest records on fucking Rocafella. Like,
we got nominated for a Grammy.
Crazy.
At 19 years old, we was I'm like a few months older than Chris and Neef. But like, we was all kids. We didn't know what we was doing. We didn't know what we was doing, dog. We just was having fun. Yeah. At that time, all I cared about was like being on stage and bagging any girl that see me on stage.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my introduction, Rocafella. I always say, like, even now it's Rock Nation. Like, I always say, if it wasn't for Rocafella, there would be no My Company Triangle Offense. Yeah. There would be no me, essentially, because Rocafella gave me the start. I mean, at 20 years old, I'm at Jay-Z's birthday parties, and Beyonce's there, and Kevin Lyles, and Kanye, and Just Blaze, and Leo Cohen, and all these different people, and I don't even know the
magnitude of what it is,
like,
right?
Like, a person, you just cut the top part of your pinky off to get it.
Right. Niggas, a lot of niggas be their pinky list, and
I can still do the beat. use the rest of my finger.
That's a fact.
And I'm in here as a child, and I'm telling my mom is just like, yo, go, because you not in the streets.
Right.
She's like, yo, just go. Like at this time, this tattoo is one of my first friends I ever had. His name was Tamari Proctor.
All right.
My mom and his mom was friends. He died January 9th, 2003. 2003 is when we dropped this Chain Gang album.
Yeah.
And my only problem was like I had kind of lost contact with him for like 2 years, and he got murdered. And it kind of hit me heavy because I was spending so much time in the music that I didn't have the relationship I had with my friend. So the sacrifices that you incur, but I was following my path.
Absolutely.
At that time.
So now, like, just like that's invaluable, right? Like just being able to kind of soak up this experience. Rocafella at this time, like, got the city going crazy on fire. I guess kind of talk about your interaction, like, with Dame, because like Dame got that like stamp. Everybody like, yo, Dame is crazy. He be wilding and
listen,
you know what I mean?
Dash.
I know you see some Dame fucking.
Dog, listen, it's so crazy because after Dame, like him and Jay broke up,
yeah,
and he started doing other stuff. People was like, man, Dame is tough, and I used to be like, yo, you have no, like, y'all got the nice.
The night, yeah.
Yo, Dame,
that
like,
early Dame.
Yo, listen, I mean, I didn't know. See, when they started,
yeah,
I think he was like. He was crazy really early on, and it just like it kept getting taken down. But Dame, he's a visionary. Like he taught me so many things that I didn't understand until like he's teaching me shit at 19 that didn't kick in until I was 25. And Dame made Big Face Gary fire me, yo. It was the funniest shit ever.
What you mean? Like
he made Big Face Gary fire me, yo. Like because like Beans had caught a case and they had let him out and. They court ordered him to only record one place.
Yeah.
So the one place they court ordered him to record was my man Chad West's crib. So we not emailing beats, we got CDs.
Yeah.
So Howard Homecoming is coming up. The Young Guns is on fire. I'm going to Howard Homecoming.
Right.
I mean, that's where it's lit.
Yeah.
So my objective was to go to Philly, sit with Beans, give him the beats and play them for him. I mean, I had Just Blaze CD, everything. Yeah. So what I did was. I went to Philly. I left the CDs at Chad's crib because that's the only place Beans could record. Yeah. And then we went to Howard Homecoming. Right. So at this time, I'm 20. We still young, wilding, having fun. And they went to Beans' crib and they like, yo, where's all the beats we sent you? And Beans like, I didn't get no beats. So he like, I didn't get no beats because he hadn't.
He's a fucking freight elevator again, right?
Exactly. He didn't go to Chad's crib. Yeah. So. Big Face called me and he like, yo, you ain't give Beans the beats? And I'm like, what do you mean? I said, I left him at Chad's house. That's the only place he could record at. He hung up on me. Right? He hung up on me. So I hit Dame in the
background wilding.
Like, yo, you a bum ass A&R, my nigga. Like, he's flipping on Big Face. Right. So like, this is like a Sunday. Monday, I come into work, everything's fine. Yeah. Big Face don't talk to me the whole
week. He's saying it's bad shit.
Like, me and him got the same office, so like, I'm coming there, he not saying nothing. Friday, like, we get paid. So like Friday, he come in the office, he closed the door, he got 3 envelopes. Yeah. So he like, yo, niggas ain't wanna give you nothing, but I got these 3 checks for you. You gotta get out of here.
That was how it just.
I'm like,
how'd you feel at that year? You like,
dog,
crushed, right? That shit hurt, right?
It hurt, but you know what? I had that feeling a few times in life. I had that feeling a few different times in life with, it's a hurdle. Long story short, I got let go. 3 or 4 months later, Young Guns is on the run to do their first album. They called me like, yo, you got to come on the road with me. So it's like I got brought right back in.
Right. So you working with Young Guns now at this point?
Yeah, I'm working with the Young Guns, but it's like I'm working back at Rocafella. Yeah. I'm back at Rocafella. Like, we having fun. Like, everybody got over their egos. Right. They let me back in the fold. I learned more things, so I'm doing a better job.
So now, this is the time around, like, the split is about to happen, right? Like, Hov is about to become the president of Def Jam, right? Is this, because you said, is this after Blueprint 2?
This is after Black Album.
Oh, is that the Black Album?
Yeah, because Black Album, when Hov did that, nobody was allowed to go to the studio.
Oh yeah, that took it to was like.
No, that's when shit started getting different. We was told nobody can go to Baseline without authorization.
Damn, the levels went up after that. Levels went up.
Bodyguard named Sam, I'll never forget him.
Sam.
All right. Big Samoan dude. He was like 22 years old. He was like 6'8", 300 something pounds. and he was like a master in like judo or some crazy shit.
Oh my God.
He'd kill you with one hand.
Right.
Yo, it was so crazy because we would be in a room with Jay while he's recording, and all you would do is go to the bathroom, and you go back to go in the room, and he'd be like, "What you doing in here?" And I'm
like I was just you just see
like, what you, right. Jay used to have to tell me
right.
all the time, like,
right. Hold on. We can't even gloss over that, right? Like, cause you in the studio with Hov while he's recording? Like,
I was in the studio when I know we ain't got all it because I could go on for a 2-day. This is right, a 3-part interview. Right. I just tell you the songs I was in the studio for. I was in the studio for What We Do. Freeway. It was just Freeway. I was in the studio when Freeway recorded it, and then it was just Freeway, and then Beans and them came in, and I was in the studio when Freeway heard it with everybody on it. Yeah. I was in the studio when Cam and them did I Really Mean It. I was in the studio when Jay did Never Let Me Down. Yeah. Never Let Me Down was for Blueprint 2. Right. But Jay didn't use it, and he didn't use it, and he gave it to Kanye for College Dropout. Yeah. I was in the studio for As One with all of them on it. That was on Freeway's birthday. I never forget none of these moments because I don't know when they ever gonna happen again. Right. So like I've never forgotten any moment I've ever been around Jay. Wow. Anything he's ever said to me, I've never forgotten because I don't. All right.
So what was the first interaction with Jay that pops in your head that you remember, like some kind of interaction with Hov?
I was in the studio one time without permission, and then the next day they told me don't come to the studio no more. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be like, fuck that, I'm moving. This goes right. Sitting there, and then like Jay and them, they'd walk in and be like, they'd walk and see me and be like, they not gonna tell you, yo, get the fuck out. They ain't gonna do that. Right. They would tell Shari, I got Shari in so much trouble. Right. Yo, Shari came to me one day like, yo, you cannot go to the studio. You cannot. Right. Like, you're fucking getting me in trouble. Right. Don't go to the studio no more. And then like once I got cool, Young Chris, and they be like, nah, you come to the studio. Up this, yeah. I was in the studio when they did the I Get High verse. I mean the I Get High diss to Jazzo. Yeah. When Freeway had that bar, you like the beer cane drop the minutes 40 and broke. Yeah, I was in the studio for that. I was in the studio for so much shit. That's moments, bro. I was in the studio when Jay did Hovey Baby. I was in the studio when he did the shit Blueprint 2 when he dissed Nas again. Yeah. Yeah, I was in the
Blueprint 2, the song Blueprint 2. Now, how does just seeing all of this like kind of affect you, and kind of like what did you get from those moments?
Oh, I ain't doing nothing but going back to the hood bragging.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. Oh my God, you the man on the block, right?
I was remembering Jay's bars, going to the hood like, yo, Jay said this. Right. It wasn't on Instagram, so it's not like I'm retaining like everything. That's how I really, you know what's so crazy? The reason why they like everybody like me is because I could remember every single bar. I can't no more like I used to, but you
just hear it and retain it though.
Beans, I was in the studio when Beans did Feeling in the Air. So people would say shit and they would forget, and they'd be like, yo, what did I say? And I'd be like, you said this. Yeah. And they couldn't remember it, or they'd be like, yo, I want to use this bar from like Raekwon. He said, and they'd be like, what did he say? And I'd be like, yo, he said AK Black Buzz Black like 70 Max. I'm all that like I was like a fucking human encyclopedia with bars because the way I learned how to remember music was I didn't have a Walkman as a kid. Yeah. So any song like. You watch Rap City Video Music Box, I gotta watch it and remember it to hear it in my head. So I would just recite it in my head to hear it. Right. So I would always be that for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Damn, that's legendary. Yeah, that's a lot of history now. It's all good. It's a lot of history. All right. So look. So we at the point.
Gotta get up to Dave.
Oh, we gonna get to it. Yeah, we definitely gotta get to the Dave. So look. So we at this point. You leave this situation. You know, you're feeling fucked up, right? At what point is it that you kind of wanted to start the management shit, right? Like kind of create Triangle Offense, and I'm like, yo, like I need to kind of take my own artists on.
Damn. Well, you know, Jay and Dane broke up. It was like going with your mother or your father. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where you gonna go? I didn't know what to do, so I went and got a regular job. Yeah. Back in the mailroom, working at Pfizer Pharmaceuticals.
Damn.
Honestly, yeah, I was kind of embarrassed to even talk about it because I was like, nobody's gonna believe me.
Like coming from that.
Yeah, it's like I don't have no pictures or nothing, so nobody like. Listen, if we'd had Instagram in 2001, I had 10 million followers today.
Right, just all of it. Yeah.
So at this time, you know, I get a job and all of that. I get my girl pregnant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm not even thinking about being in music anymore. Yeah, I'm about to become a father, so it's like. I wasn't making no real money. I was getting a check from Rocafella, but it wasn't nothing like
crazy.
Like the worst job I had regular was more than what I was getting paid at Rocafella. It was more about the experience.
Yeah.
So I really just was like, I was stuck, and then I started working at Channel 11. I was working there doing like office services, like changing the lights, mailroom work lightly, but doing all types of shit. I got laid off, and when I got laid off, I started a streetwear line. I had a pension.
Yeah.
I had a pension, and I'm like, yo, dog, like all that's left in my pension is like 5 bands.
Right.
So I took the pension, I cashed it out. I had to pay like probably $1,200 or $1,300.
Like penalties,
Yeah, penalties and all
yeah.
that. I was like, shit, I need this $3,000 and change.
Yeah.
I took the $3,000 and change. I bought a MacBook. I bought a company name. I bought my company, which was Cool Mentality Clothing at the time.
Yeah.
And I started a clothing line. And then I took a business class. And I learned that I didn't really need to, I didn't need to get a loan for what it was I wanted to do. But it was always a fire burning in me for music, because even when Jay and Damon and broke up, I still was connected to Young Chris. I worked on his solo album that never came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was still working with these guys like all the time. So I got rehired by Channel 11.
Yeah.
And then like my mentor, his name is John Ziegler, he gave me a job that I needed a bachelor's degree for, and I didn't graduate from high school. So salute to that man.
Show love.
And what was really ill about it was John was, he was a white dude, and he saw shit in me that I didn't see in myself, and I couldn't understand it. And he told me that I was so smart. He's like, yo, you're smarter than all these people in here. He's like, you're not gonna be at this job. He's like, it's gonna be one day where like you running your own company. And I didn't understand why he instilled these things in me, but if he didn't instill that shit in me, I went and took the leap to start trying to
do that. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start this thing called Triangle Offense, and it's gonna be a management company. And then John, he was my man, so he hit me like, yo, listen, it's December at this time.
Right.
He like, yo, you about to get laid off again. And I'm 29.
Yeah.
I'm about to get laid off again, and I got another kid on the way.
Wow.
And I got $1,000 to my name.
Damn.
And I did the dumbest but smartest thing ever in life. I said, I'm not gonna get a job. I said, like, if people in their early 20s or 20s period is scared to turn 30.
Yeah.
And not everybody thinks that, oh, by the time I'm 30, I better have $1 million, a house, a dog,
right,
a wife,
you know
what I mean?
Set up everything.
Trust fund.
Facts.
And I just was like, yo, I'm tired of working for all of these places and giving these people my time, and I'm not getting what I want out of it.
Yeah.
So I told my girl, I said, yo, listen, give me like 8 months to make this shit pay our bills. If I can, I'll go get a regular job. And my first clients was Buddha and Grands.
Right, the producers, yeah.
And even then, we wasn't making no money.
Right, they was doing 50 shit and all that.
They did shit for 50. I got them to do something for Meek. They did something for Jewels, but it just was like I was paying dues.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they got something to do something with Meek is like, Oskino introduced me to Meek. I met Meek when I was 22 and he was 16. Like Dirty Braids Meek before.
Yeah.
So everything he's going through, I met Meek before he caught the charge.
Wow.
And even when he caught the charge, I used to be in the studio with him when he had the ankle bracelet
on. Wow.
This is when him and O'Malley is skinny as a greyhound.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
For real, but
right.
like these things helped me out later on in my career. And I started that, and then I'm just taking any odd job I could find.
Yeah.
And I went to SOBs one night, and I had a big following on Twitter. Social media was my thing, like even MySpace.
Yeah.
People knew me from MySpace because I used to write a lot of blogs and shit about how I was feeling.
Yeah.
That was like my outlet to kind of express myself.
Yeah.
And then my man made me make a Twitter, and then Twitter, the whole Black Twitter shit happened.
Yeah.
And then my man was like, well, this dude I met, his name is Pat Swiss. He's like, yo, you should host shows at SOBs. He's like, I'll pay you $150 a night.
Just the whole shows and shit?
Shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I need every
time. That's a fact.
So I started hosting shows, and I hosted this new showcase. It was a showcase for, new Harlem artists, and Dave was on there, Dave East.
Yeah.
And
did you know of him at this point, or it was just like?
I mean, around that time, I was hearing like Dave played ball with like this kid from my block, Jamie Harris. He was like ranked and all of that.
Yeah.
They played in college against each other, him and my man G. Coles, and they used to tell me about him, but I didn't like
on some rap shit or on some bullshit, like
on some rap shit.
All right.
Because at this time I think Dave had stopped playing ball, but I had moved. Like I moved out my mom's crib at 22, and I was living on the west side, so I wasn't in the street like that. I was working regular jobs to take care of my kids and all that.
Yeah.
Take care of my son at the time, take care of my family. So they was telling me about Dave. They like, yo, it's this kid named Dave Easy from from the East Side. He rap. I'm like, all right. And then I met him that night.
Yeah.
So when like everybody there was rapping, but like he was just saying words a certain type of way, and I was like, yo, this kid is dope. So he knew who I was, and I was like, yo, like we connected. I was like, yo, take down my number. We just got cool, and it was like, I was a brand ambassador for Reebok at the time,
right?
And I was like, I would like give him sneakers and shit. Like I'd be like, yo, you need, because my job was to give people sneakers,
seed the
people,
right?
So I would like give him sneakers and shit, and I would tell Reebok like, yo, this is a kid, he coming out, he gonna be dope, and he would post the shit for me and all of that, and then we got cool for like a year, and then one day I was just trying to figure out the pieces because I had Buddha, but we wasn't making money, and I was like, yo, if I could just get one artist that could like see the vision and see the direction, and I'm telling Buddha, if we could get one artist that'll help y'all sell beats,
go, everybody win. Yeah.
I hit Dave up one day. I was like, yo, what you doing? He's like, nothing. I went to his man crib, and me and him chopped it up, and I was like, yo, I feel like as dope as you are, and all the shit I've been doing, like my whole journey.
Yeah.
If I get somebody like you, we get together, we could make some shit happen. He's like, all right, bet. And then we did that, and the first project I started helping him work on, he already had Black Rose. Yeah. But like we started working on it together, and I had got him like a few beats. I had got him a feature from Smoke Dizza. Yeah. Me and Smoke Dizza.
Shout out to Smoke, that's the homie. Yeah.
Childhood friends, like me and Dizza been friends since we were 13 years old.
Damn, the Polo God.
Yeah. Me and him made a pact to make this shit happen in music.
Yeah.
When we was kids, when we was teenagers.
Damn.
And then like the offering, which ended up being the intro, was the last song Dave recorded. And then after we did all of that, Nas's people reached out.
Right.
Anthony Saleh, he made
shout out to Anthony, yeah.
He manages Future. He reached out, he told me and Dave to meet him, downtown. We met him, and he was like, yo, Nas got this shit called Mass Appeal. He trying to, start something new. He wants to work with artists, and you one of them. Yeah. And Dave was like, get the fuck out of here. Right. Both of us is like what?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
But when Dave told me that he would let me manage him, the first thing I said, I'm gonna make you rich. I promise you, I'm gonna make you rich. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, he's like, word. I said, yo, it could happen. Like I just know enough. And we started working, and then we ended up doing a deal with Nas and all of that. And then we worked on the next project, was Hate Me Now. Right. You know what I mean? And we used like a lot of the relationships that he was growing, by becoming a dope artist.
What was the vision at this point though, right? Like it's like, you picked up, you with Dave, you with Dave. Y'all got this Nas shit bubbling, right? The shit's going crazy. What do you as a manager kind of see like where you want to go with it?
Honestly, as a manager, I ain't know shit. I ain't know a motherfucking thing. I just was like, you know what? I gotta become a duck and just adapt to the water that I'm thrown in. Yeah. And I learned on the job. I made certain mistakes, early on. Like I just was like, my vision for Dave was that I was like, yo, he could be the dopest dude coming out of New York and take it beyond that. Yeah. So it was like it was so funny because like when I first started working with him, like he had a few shows and like Dave used to be on some grimy shit. Yeah. Like, he used to pull up. Carhartt hoodie on, right, hat low like this. Right. He rapping, he spitting, and I told him, I said, yo, bro, you're not a bad looking brother. Like girls want to look at you. Yeah. Take that fucking hat off. Like we used to argue about arguments about him not wearing his hat and his hoodie, and then it was just shit like that. And I was like, yo, you tall. When you walk in the room, like
it's noticeable.
Yeah, it's like you got the most presence because you the tallest person. You 6'5". Right. So it was like shit like that, and just. He had the music shit. I just was like, my A&R shit would kick in, and I was like, yo, like let's do this and let's do that. So we had a vision. Like I had a vision and he had a vision, and we put this shit together and like we made magic. And it was like, it wasn't nobody coming from Harlem. Like I think the last guy who had came from Harlem was Vado. Yeah. And Vado, like that's another story. I was supposed to work with Vado at one point in time. Oh yeah. Yeah, but he had got locked up. You know what I mean? So it just didn't work out. Yeah. But my vision for Dave was just for him to be like the dopest dude, and I'm like, yo, I feel like you better than everybody. Yeah. I was like, you got more skill than all of these dudes, and if you just keep crafting it, like it'll be there.
So take me to the moment where you guys, you got this Nas thing, you got the Mass Appeal, and then I remember that, at this point, every label is like wanting to fucking sign y'all niggas like to a deal. Well, What was it like that y'all were looking for in terms of like, looking for a deal? Like as a manager, what was you looking for in that?
So we had the independent deal with Mass Appeal, which we was there. Like we signed the deal where we owed them a certain amount of projects and all of that. Right. But we had the option to like do shit within the system. Like Mass Appeal was in the Sony system. They distributed by Red.
Right.
So the first conversation we had, like after we dropped Hate Me Now, is when they opened their eyes. When Dave did Forbes list, he had KD. Like DJ Drama is a friend of mine.
Okay.
So I had when I met Dave, I sent his music to everybody I knew. I sent it.
You was hustling. That's a fact.
DJ Drama. DJ Drama wanted to sign him to Generation Now.
Wow. But
it happened the same time the Nas shit happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is when Uzi wasn't even Uzi. Uzi my man. Like I could have managed Uzi too.
Oh my.
At one point in time, I really could have managed Uzi too. You know what I mean? Because I had Diamond Cuts, had a DJ Diamond Cuts.
Yeah, was instrumental. Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I was talking to Uzi's people about potentially doing it, but they went a different direction. But Drama was my man, and he wanted to sign Dave, and he didn't get to. So I was like, yo, Drama, yo, I need you, bro. Like I need you to host Dave tape because Dave wanted that.
Right.
So like, we linked up with Drama. You know, this is when we working on Hate Me Now. A lot of people don't know that we worked on Hate Me Now on Mean Streets. Yeah. With Uzi, this is when Uzi was working on Love Is Rage. The first one, yeah. Yeah, so it's like
Don Cannon and all that. So Don Cannon, going crazy. Don Cannon
coming in giving us beats. Like Don Cannon had a joint on there. So fast forward, you know, we had a conversation with Epic, with LA Reid. Somebody had reached out to me. We had the conversation with Epic, and we was going like LA Reid was like, yo, he wanted Dave over there, but we got our lawyers involved and they lawyers, and then they started saying some shit that we was asking for. We didn't ask for no money.
No money up front?
We didn't ask for shit. We just had a meeting.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I hear is that we asking for $1 million.
Oh, like the media, and that's what the word is going on?
No, that's the word in the industry, like in the offices.
Right.
Is that we asking for $1 million. And we like, I'm like, I didn't ask for nothing. Like, what do they mean $1 million?
Yeah.
So now Epic is like, nah, because they like, we asked for $1 million. I'm like, we didn't ask for $1 million. So then, No ID was still at Def Jam.
Right.
No ID had my man Steve-O reach out to me, and then he flew us out to LA.
Shout out to Steven Victor. Yeah.
Well, Steven Victor wasn't there at the time.
Oh, Steven Victor.
Shout out to Steven. No, that's my guy.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely, shout out to Steven Victor. That's my guy. And Pusha T.
Right.
That's the homies right there. That's fam. But we went to go meet No ID, and then we meet with No ID, my man Noah Preston and Steve-O, and No ID is like, yo, you know, I want to bring you over here. He's like, I ain't trying to get in the way of nothing y'all doing. I just want to pour gasoline on y'all shit. Y'all on fire, pour gasoline on it.
Yeah.
Cool. We kind of, so me and Dave was like, we was like, fuck it. Like at this time, I'm still living in the projects. Dave had moved out the hood. He ain't in the projects no more. He living in, you know, got a nice condo and all that.
Yeah.
But we not starving for bread. But we like, yo, we got to be careful because we don't want to just jump into nothing. Like me and Dave was really careful about like, yo, we don't want to just jump into something unknowingly. So we was like, yo, you know what? Fuck that. Let's get hot.
Right.
We gonna get hot and we charging everybody.
Yeah.
So we
run it up.
Yeah. So at this time we go to we do the show in Japan. You know what I mean? We go to Japan. But when I really knew that Dave East was a fucking thing, we had a show in Webster Hall in the studio room.
Yeah.
And we had maybe 3 shows there. And it used to be nobody in that shit. It was like 15, 30 people, and Dave is pouring his Dave
still going.
He was pouring his fucking heart out, and people wasn't there, but he still was giving his all.
Yeah.
And we did this show in Webster Hall, and that shit was sold out. And I had everybody come there. I had Lenny come there. I had everybody come there.
Right.
And they was like, Lenny after the show, Lenny was like, yo, what you think about
this Rock Nation?
I'm like, you bullshitting. I'm like, you lying, you bullshitting.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, I'm dead serious. Jay-Z, Nas, Dave East. And I'm like, whatever. I ain't even tell Dave. I'm like, whatever. So fast forward, we still grinding, we about to go on our first tour. This is the day I found out that Dave was gonna be at XXL Freshman.
Yeah.
I go to Rock Nation to see Lenny, and I'm chilling in there talking to him, and Jay and Blue Ivy just walk in the room.
Damn.
Right? And Jay, they walk in the room, and like, you know, Lenny's like, yo, this Wayno used to work. He like, I know this nigga. You know
right. I mean? Like, I kicked him out the studio 15 years ago.
I remember this nigga. So first and foremost,
right.
First and foremost, Jay was just like saluting me like, yo, I'm proud of you, my nigga. Like, you really like taking this shit for real. And like, you take, and it was a lot of shit that he said on 444.
Yeah.
He was telling me.
Wow.
Like, he's telling me like, yo, listen, man, y'all need to own y'all masters. Like he like y'all need to own y'all masters. Y'all need to. He like yo they gonna waive this money. Like he just was saying so many.
Just give me the game, yeah.
Sticking to me and marinating to me and like remember we chilling.
Right.
So Jay's just like yo like let's figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's do it. Like let's do it.
Right.
But we like yo let's figure it out. Like y'all keep doing what y'all doing for the rest of the year. Let's figure it out top of the year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know I wasn't leaving that room. Like we in a different. Like, I'm not leaving that room. I'm getting the flick.
Right.
Get the flick.
Right.
Like, what's good?
Yeah. Oh, you asked her?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Because you know how hoes be with the pictures, so you ain't.
You know what? The different thing about that is like, I don't like. One thing is that I'm not Jay-Z's close friend, but I know.
But he
him,
know him. Yeah.
He know me because he watched me from a kid become a man. Like he knew me before I was a father.
Yeah.
He knew me when like I was going through all these trials and tribulations, and I still was going to like his birthday parties.
Facts.
Little shit he was doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, let's take this flick. So we take the flick. Before I go outside, I tell Dave, I'm like, yo, Jay want to sign you, right?
Right.
He's like,
he going crazy, right? Going
like,
crazy,
like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Right.
So, I actually went to Double XL that day, and they was because they wanted me to come through it. And Vanessa had told me, she's like, yo, Dave is gonna be a Double XL freshman.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this is crazy.
Everything happened.
I put the flick up, and after I put that flick up,
that was the storm went the. I remember that too.
Every label and they mom, every label called me, yo.
Yeah.
Every label, RCA, Def Jam called me back. Epic was called, like everybody. In the scope.
Yeah.
Like A&Rs that was working. I don't know if they still there, but a few people was calling me, and we was like, you know, we wanted to do the thing, but like Def Jam came with an offer we couldn't refuse.
Right.
They came with an offer we couldn't refuse, and like when they came to us, we really thought it out. You know what I mean? Like we really thought it out, and like I called Lenny first. Like first thing I did before we did anything, before I took a meeting, I called
you let
Lenny
him know
because that's my family. Like
Rock
is my family. So
that's a fact.
Lenny was like, yo, listen, if it's an opportunity that y'all feel is like conducive to what y'all got going on, do it.
Yeah.
Like it ain't no hard feelings. You still fam. Like you can still run plays through us. Like this, because Jay, before I left, Jay said, "Yo, whether y'all choose to do it or not, this door is always open ended. You can always use us to do shit in this. Because I want to see you win."
Yeah.
And we did the deal with Def Jam, and I moved out the hood.
Like, what a feeling, right? What a feeling. I feel that. All right, all right. Let me take me to the time because, like I said, we know now, like everybody's kind of had the whole like. You know, mentality of seeing you guys like not really being together, and it was just like the rumors of you guys like splitting apart.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because there's always, you know, that.
Well, the thing is this. It's like, you know, Dave, like, me and him have a different relationship. Like, I took Dave to take a shahada. You know what I mean? We Muslims. Me and Dave, like, we wasn't the typical manager and client.
Yeah.
We used to go pray every Friday together. That's different. You know what I mean? That's always gonna be my guy.
Right.
But, you know, we decided to go in different directions. You know what I mean? He had a certain direction he wanted to go, and I had a certain direction I wanted to go. And it wasn't no hard feelings or nothing. You know what I mean? But we decided to go our separate ways. Yeah. And, you know, I still salute him for everything he got going on, and he salutes me.
Yeah.
But we just decided to, you know, I won't even say it's unfortunate. We just grew and we grew in different directions.
Yeah. That happens. Places.
And you know, he's doing what he's doing, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But do you, as somebody, because like we said, it's just the industry knows like how much work you put into trying to make that work, right? Like to know that you kind of, you know, raised it up to this level, and you guys aren't together anymore. Does that make you feel away? Like,
nah, I don't feel no way because remember you seen Above the Rim?
Yeah.
Remember what Flip told Shep? They can never erase what we were.
That's a fact.
They can never erase what we were. Like the thing is that like.
Wait, hold on. All right, got it.
Like they can never erase what we were. You know, the whole fact of the matter is that regardless to what anybody feels or thinks, or because everybody got their opinions about what I did or what Dave did, and I needed him and he needed me. Like we both needed each other to make. Like we did something that I'm not gonna say never been done in music because we did a lot of people do it, but we did something that nobody else at that time I couldn't do it with a different artist, and he couldn't do it with a different person.
Yeah.
So we like it worked. You know what I mean? And it worked, and he still. It's not like I lost my career. He lost his career.
Yeah.
We both doing our thing. So it ain't no, hell no, it ain't no hard feelings. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no hard feelings at all.
Right.
Because it can't be. You know what I mean? It can't be. Like, we made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Yo, we made a lot of fucking money. And not only, it's not even about the money. We was able to show people from where we from that it's possible.
Facts.
Because I was living in the projects, stepping on roaches, calling exterminators for bed bugs, and he was doing the same. We shared the same sentiments. We shared the same food out each other's plates.
Yeah.
We prayed together. So it ain't no hard feelings. You know what I mean? It ain't none at all. Like, we men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. So how does Wayno now kind of transition? Like, what's the lane? Because you got so much shit going on. Shit been blowing up for you right now. Like, how do you kind of transition out of that and just to what you're doing now?
Well, I mean, you know, at this time, I always been working with, you know, different artists, you know, because I done a lot of stuff in rap. So there's been different things I've been trying to conquer. Like, right now, I got my artist Matt Patterson. He been with me like for a lot of the tenure when I was working with Dave. And you know, he got a new situation. I can't announce it yet. He got a really good situation.
Wayno out here in these offices still.
Listen, man, I got a lot of, man, I've been in this shit for a long time, and I got a lot of good relationships. And not only do I got a lot of good relationships, I work really hard. You know what I mean? And I pride myself off that shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if I would have done this with basketball when I was a kid, I wanted to be a ball player. If I would have done it with basketball, I'd have wanted to be the best player. Or if I had to be the best role player, I'd have been that too. So I got Matt Patterson. You know, he has a great situation on his horizon. We dropping his project called Better. You know what I mean? This summer. And it's gonna be a lot of different things with that. I got this kid named Daniel Munoz. You know, he signed to my label. I actually met this kid in Walmart. You know what I mean?
Damn, word.
This kid in Walmart, yeah, and he signed to my label through Epic Records. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I got TJ Porter. You know what I mean? He's a young kid from Harlem. And my son actually put me on to him.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
wow.
And you know, I'm growing some things with him too. I got this kid named Hasi Irv. A lot of people is familiar with Ness on the Beat. He did KMT for Drake. He did Say A for A Boogie. He does a lot of A Boogie stuff. You know, he's on the team. Buddha and Grands, you know, I'm no longer their manager. They're my partners in Triangle Offense. You know what I mean? I got a lot of people out that work with me. I got my man L. You know what I mean? Like, he's growing and he's becoming an A&R, and I'm showing him the ropes of the things that I learned over the years. And he was a person that I met through Dave, and like, we shared the same sentiments. Like, he's from the East Side, I'm from the East Side. He's trying to make it. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to make it. Like, there's no such thing as making it,
right?
Because there's never enough. You always gonna, if you got that hunger, you always want to attain certain goals. So it's like, I got my man Don like Cheeto. He has a
the cameraman going off. Yeah, going off.
You know, he's Triangle Offense personal photographer.
All right.
Not only that, he has his own brand called Inspire Retire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's another thing that we were rolling out. We got the Triangle Offense merch. I'm jumping into the media space a bit now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do any and everything that I'm comfortable with, just to show other young black men, and not just black, but like, I'm not apologetic about being a black man.
Absolutely.
And that's who I am, and I want to be able to be a fixture. Like, I was talking about being a role model. There's no way possible I could do all of these things and have this journey and say that I'm not somebody to look up to. I am, and I'm gonna show you the reason why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we got on the horizon.
Man, that's great, man.
Thing, you know, shout out to my man Pusha T.
Yeah.
Alright, you know, maybe we gotta do a part 2 to debut what we working on.
Yeah, man. Let me know. You and Pusha got something. What's that about? Give me a little.
Well, you know, Pusha just believes in who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a creative, and he's just putting me in different positions to express my creativity. You know what I mean?
Wayno, you had good music now, Wayno? Is that what's happening? Oh, I thought that's what you was trying to. Oh, all right. That's gonna be the headline tomorrow. Wayno says he's.
I should ask Push if he could give me this.
You know what I
mean? Nah, he's you know, Push has been very tremendous. You know, Push is a guy that, you know, I connected with him through the music stuff, but he's been like one of the most instrumental people in the second or third phase of my career.
Yeah.
Like, he really believes in me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Steven Victor. You know what I mean? My man Rico Beats, my man J News. It's just so many people that I wouldn't say. I don't like to use the word but I like to use the word that, like, they're part of my success. Like, if I ever had to do an acceptance speech, even you giving me this platform to even talk, I might win an award one year, and it might be somebody that's watching Cigar Talk that says, I seen Wayno on here, and it made me want to give him an opportunity. You know what I mean? So everybody that's a part of this shit, man, it takes a village not only to raise a child, but to have a career.
Real talk, man. So just in conclusion, man, like, just for the people who kind of see you and relate to your story and trying to figure it out, right? It's a bunch of us trying to fucking figure this music industry shit out. What kind of advice do you give to those people who are watching this and just trying to grab every gem?
Honestly, man, I just say, like, don't give up, because, like, I had a lot of different instances from the time I was a child. You know, I had a very nurturing family, you know what I mean, from my mom to my pop. I'm fortunate enough to have a dad be in my corner and all that. I would just say, like, don't give up, and just believe in yourself. Like, we believe in a lot of things. Like, you know, I have my faith, my way of life, which is Islam, you know. I believe in that. But because of that, I believe in myself. You know what I mean? I have people, you know, my children, you know what I mean? My woman, like, all these different things in my life that help me become the man that I am. And I just say, like, whatever is your foundation, emphasize on that. You know what I mean? Like, even when you feel like it's not, man, like, if me, and this is not a bragging point, but I used to believe that if you didn't have academics that you wouldn't
be able to, yeah.
And if I didn't have the belief within myself, I wouldn't be on this couch or this chair talking with you about these things. So I just tell you, believe in yourself, have foresight, be able to see further than your eyes can show you. Believe in your process. Believe that for every good comes in a bad. Like, you're not gonna have positive or have negative. You know,
ebbs and flows.
As much as I'm telling you, all of this good shit is happening.
Yeah, it's a lot of bad shit that
is gonna come with all of this.
Absolutely.
So just being able to be transparent and understand that in order for you to win, you gotta lose, and take those L's and learn from them.
Man, yo, this was a dope ass episode, man. I hope y'all got some gems from it. Listen, if y'all ain't learning nothing from this, I can't help you. I don't even know what to say, man.
I'm drop a book, B. I'm
dropping a book too. Woo! Wait, we gotta give me. What's it about? Like, is it the life story? Is it just like what's?
I'm dropping a book based on my tweets. I'm dropping a book based on my tweets, and it's gonna be me explaining them from everything funny that I say to inspirational to political.
Wow.
You know?
That's dope, man. I like the way you innovating, brother, man. Yo, listen, I appreciate you coming to pull up on me, man. Sitting on this couch, man, smoking the cigars. Hey, this was a dope ass episode. I got my man Wayno, Triangle Offense.
Triangle Offense. Y'all see the brim?
Yeah, I mean, you see it. Hey, it's another episode of Cigar Talk. We logging out. I'm gonna catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Bah!